you mentioned again the age of some of the players, or virtually every player that's going to be drafted atop this draft. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on his book tour called the one-and-done situation in college basketball a travesty, that nobody goes to school anymore for an education, et cetera, et cetera. Now, obviously, the NBA can't do anything about the desire of a young man to want an education, but what about the fact that so much is riding on so many of these franchises, and you could make a case, they're boys, they're not men yet, Pat, that's going to be thrown into this situation. What can the NBA do about that?
Well, let me try and put that in perspective, Rich. There was a period from the mid-'90s till the mid-2000s when we were drafting high school players. LeBron James came, and Kevin Garnett, and Kobe Bryant, and Dwight Howard, and there were a whole slew of them. A lot of them were terrific. Some weren't very good, as it turned out. David Stern, the commissioner, hated seeing pro scouts in high school gyms. He just hated it. And so he worked hard to get a collective bargaining agreement where these players had to go to college for at least 1 year. And that got the pro scouts out of the high school gym. So we got that accomplished. Now, many are saying, well, why didn't you get 2 years? David tried, but couldn't get it collectively bargained. Others say, how about the baseball rule, where once a kid goes to college, he's in there for 3 years before a major league team can draft him. They do allow, however, high school kids to sign in baseball right out of high school. So there are pros and cons on it, Rich, and arguments go back and forth. But as for now, we got the 1 year in college for these players, and that's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be until it's collectively bargained somewhere down the road, and it is changed. There are many on the other side who want to go back to drafting high school players. So I understand what Kareem is saying, but it is what it is, and I don't see that changing.
Pat Williams here on the Rich Eisen Show. What is the scuttlebutt amongst you and the other talent evaluators on Lavar Ball, and that you draft him as well as Lonzo? Should you draft Lonzo, and that might affect his draft stock? What are you hearing about that, Pat?
Rich, I have always believed, draft the best player who has the best chance to be a star. That's always kind of been my rule of thumb. Who has the best chance to be a star when you draft them? And any issues with parents or girlfriends or this, that, or the other, you can't let that interfere. So, in my opinion, Lonzo Ball will be drafted where he deserves to go talent-wise. And then we wait and see how Mr. Ball reacts to that. There's no question. As far as I can recall, we've never had a situation like this with a father that active and that visible and that vocal. Oh my goodness, we've never seen this before. So that's a whole other adventure that lies ahead. But Lonzo Ball is a really good player, and he's going to be a very good pro player. And you don't want to look back in a few years and say, boy, oh boy, we should have taken him, but we got scared off by his father. You don't want that to happen.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you like that, download our app. Please, just if it's a memory thing, just delete other apps. You don't need those apps. This app, the Rich Eisen Show app, you need that.